Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm somebody who is not very smart when it comes to geopolitics. I'm somebody who is not very smart when it comes to well, the entire conflict that's going on recently between Gaza and Israel and, all the other countries that are involved in it. But I am smart enough to recognize wrong when I see wrong. I'm smart enough to see when somebody is being mistreated. I'm smart enough to see all of these things. I don't have to read 20 pages of book to know that keeping food away from a baby is wrong. I don't have to read 20 books to know that killing over 100,000 innocent people is wrong. I don't have to read a book to see what's going on in Gaza is ethnic cleansing and a genocide. And with that being said, don't take my word for it. I posted one of my video on TikTok and somebody was like, oh, when it comes to the Jews, you guys like to, spew all these misinformation and stuff like that. And what I told them was that I read articles. I've seen videos. I've heard both sides. I've heard the Zionists speak. I've heard IOF speaking, and I've heard Israeli speaking. I didn't come to a conclusion simply because I'm like, oh, these people are Muslim. That means that I get to back them up because I'm Muslim myself. That's not how I came to the conclusion. I came to the conclusion because of the way I heard the Israelis speak. I came to the conclusion because of what I saw of the Palestinians when they were posting videos of what was happening when the bomb was being indiscriminately dropping on them. I've seen the Israelis attack another country with precision. So I'm not stupid. I know they're capable of doing precise attacks. And they refuse to do it. Why? Because they're doing an ethnic cleansing. They're committing war crime. They've said it. They've boasted about it. I don't care what Benjamin Netanyahu says when he says that we are trying to get the food into Gaza. I've seen Israelis blocking food from entering Gaza. I went ahead and saw this video of, let me just go ahead and read it to you. Here is a U.S. colonel testifying that Israeli troops are firing into a crowd of starving Palestinians. There is no crime in history more documented as it happened than Israel's genocide in Gaza. The atrocity deniers are sick, moral, depraved scum. A U.S. colonel, okay, it's the same thing pretty much. Wait, let me go ahead and read this part out to you. In my entire career, never have I witnessed the level of brutality, use of indiscriminate and unnecessary force against an unarmed, starving civilian populations. Let's listen to what he has to say.
The soldier is Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Aguilar, a Special Forces veteran of the U.S. Army's Green Berets. He's in Washington. I spoke to him from a spot just near the Gaza border.
I witnessed the Israeli Defense Forces shooting at the crowds of Palestinians. I witnessed the Israeli Defense Forces firing a main gun tank round from the Merkava tank into a crowd of people, destroying a car of civilians that were simply driving away from the site. I witnessed artillery rounds landing at the intersection of the Marag corridor and the coastal road. I witnessed mortar rounds being fired at the crowds of people to keep them controlled onto the Marag corridor in the south.
As a professional soldier with a very long career, what was your professional opinion of what was happening?
My professional opinion of how the sites were established was what I would describe as amateur. Inexperienced, untrained, no idea of how to conduct operations of this magnitude.
This is why I said that these IOF, they're a bunch of morons. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, seriously, they don't know what they're doing. The majority of the death that has come from Gaza is because they drop bombs indiscriminately. That's what they're good at. Have you seen these people fight hand-to-hand combat with a formidable force? They can't do it. The only reason these people have been able to go on for so long is because America is supporting them. That's it. They started a war with Iran, 12 days. And they had to come and beg Daddy America to come and get them out of that situation because they know they can't do it. And if you look at the history with Egypt, fighting with Egypt, Lebanon, they can't fight these nations. They can't fight these countries. They're weak.
That would be my most benign assessment. In my most frank assessment, I would say that they're criminal. In my entire career, have I never witnessed the level of brutality and use of indiscriminate and unnecessary force against a civilian population, an unarmed, starving population. I've never witnessed that in all of the places I've been deployed to war until I was in Gaza at the hands of the IDF and U.S. contractors.
This is why they don't want to let any journalists in. This is why they have killed more journalists than World War I and World War II combined. This is why. And this is why their prime minister does not want to sit down in Israel with a journalist so he can get questioned. But rather, he will much rather come to the United States and sit with a bunch of buffoon, the Nelk boys, and then spew nothing but propaganda, talking about I'm trying to reach the youth. I'm glad the Nelk boy got a backlash on this. Normally, I don't support the downfall of anybody. But the Nelk boy, what they did and the reaction that the American people had was justifiable. And it's a really, really, really great example as to exactly what it is that Americans think of when it comes to Israel. Nobody's buying the bullshit anymore. Nobody, especially the youth. We have social media. You got people who are speaking the truth. People who are hardcore Zionists are literally coming out and saying these people are committing war crime. I've seen Israelis burn their passports. People like Candace Owens, she was a hardcore Zionist. She admitted it herself. People like Tucker Carlson. He was somebody, after 9/11, he was somebody who was a big staunch supporter of, yeah, let's send the troop into Iraq and Iran and Afghanistan to go ahead and, because they attacked us first. And now look at these people. They've made a 360 turn and said, yo, what the fuck is going on? How can we, as the American people, pay for this? And now you have men like these coming out and saying these people are committing war crime. They're immature. They're literally firing weapons into starving Palestinians. When I started my YouTube channel, I normally didn't want to get into politics. I normally didn't want to talk about this. I just wanted to go ahead and just talk about random shit, things that, that really doesn't bring any value to society, right? That was my intention at the beginning. But I couldn't help it. I couldn't sit by and see people dying, and then I have a platform and I couldn't say anything about it. I could not do that. I have a soul. I have a heart. I can feel. I can hear. I can see. The least I can do is speak about it. That's the least I can do. If I could get up and go over there and stop it, I would do exactly that. Anyways, man, I just wanted to go ahead and share this with y'all, because this is, they keep saying you're an anti-Semite. They keep saying you're an anti-Semite. This is coming from people who have witnessed it. They've seen it themselves. They're the one that's saying this is what's going on. And when you come and then repeat exactly what they say, they call you an anti-Semite. Heck, they might even call me an anti-Semite when I post this video. Why? Because I chose to expose their crime. Fuck it. Call me an anti-Semite. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to go ahead and speak the truth, whether you like it or not. Why? Because I'm a fucking human. I have a heart. I can't sit by and see my brother and sisters getting blown up into pieces and then just turn around and eat a burger and say, oh, well, I'm just going to mind my own business and talk about something else like Cardi B or Drake or something like that. Because when everything goes crashing down, none of that's going to matter. I would much rather fall knowing that I fought as I was going down. Anyways, if you made it this far, man, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys up later.